have understood true reality by walking away from the deafening noise of the outside world. Now, in this absolute silence, I observe my inner universe and discover the truth that is always within me. I have understood true reality by walking away. I have understood true reality by walking away from the deafening noise of the outside world. Now, in this absolute silence, I observe my inner universe and discover the truth that is always within me. I have understood true reality by walking away.
Hello, traders. Welcome to the Power Hour stream for crypto. We have the weekly candle close in less than an hour, and futures are open for the U.S. Commodities have opened: oil, gold, silver, copper. So I guess we're just gonna look at it and just see what's going on, starting with Bitcoin, I guess. I don't know why. Why is it even Bitcoin live anymore? Horrible price action. I mean, you can't even believe that this is the daily time scale, each candle representing 24 hours. Or like you can just almost, I mean, like maybe it doesn't play out this way. It's just the way the data's coming in lately. It's like clearly, like, why is it like that? Like, why is momentum looking like it's shifting back into the hands of the sellers after like one peak, right? And then you have the second peak. So it's like the confirmation high. So it's like, of course, you know, we're just trying to make sense of it all with psychology. And the psychology is kind of awful, especially when the price of Bitcoin's trading below the inflection zone that stems back to 2021. And I was just like talking to somebody about like Bitcoin. Yes, of course, it has crazy multi-year runs sometimes. But like, imagine if you bought like, what was it? 800? No, like 1800, 1900 days ago. You bought in April 2021, the peak. You did that. Yeah, 1950 days ago. Vulcan, what's up, dude? We can look at some of those for sure. Maybe. I don't know. They're not dead yet. Bitcoin's trading at or lower than it was at the April 2021 peak. I mean, that's horrible, you know. I mean, that's just not good. When you look at the Nasdaq though, the same way I just did for Bitcoin, that same peak, except it was November 2021 when the Nasdaq and the S&P topped out. Nasdaq from that same peak, where Bitcoin is same price or lower now, the Nasdaq is up over 80%. So if you bought the Pico top on the Nasdaq back in November 2021, even when Bitcoin was topping out, Pokemon cards were topping out, cars were topping out, a lot of things were topping out, luxury art, NFTs, you'd still be up 80% on Nasdaq and you'd be flat to down on Bitcoin. So that's really telling. I mean, that's not great, man. Despite what happens next on Bitcoin, whether it like just randomly pumps here because the weekly is showing some favorable data, daily just looks like gross, man. Like, what are you doing? So we really want to see Bitcoin get back above 64.9, but my God, it's just like, are we still talking about psychology here? It's like they up thrusted through the peak and then they just do one failed attempt and now two failed attempts at 64.9. It's just like, make it stop, dude. Somebody call a composite man and just let him know we give up. All right, it's too much, dude. So yeah, the weekly, remember, where it was the only thing that we could look at that was like maybe favorable. Look what they did. They took it up against the supply line. Didn't break. They're not breaking it. Didn't break it last week, and they clearly rejecting the peak from April 2021 on the weekly, right? That's being rejected, and you're getting a bearish engulfing candle, and you are seeing Bitcoin's price fall below the 200-week simple moving average, where it has held above that level since they recaptured it late June. And here we are, mid-August, summertime. They held it, and now you're going for your lowest weekly candle close since June 22nd. So we're talking 7-week lows on Bitcoin in 48 minutes and change, unless a miracle happens. Anyone else just like, what the? But dude, Bitcoin's the future, I guess, but not for making money. It's not for generating yield, and right, clearly, empirically. What's up, Yo? Dude, what's up, Mesogamma, dude? There's snow in Hawaii. There's hurricanes in Hawaii, dude. It's crazy. Where do you send your money to, Composite Man? Dude, there were so many places to put your money not in crypto, and you'd have retired your bloodline. You know, you could have, like the memory stocks, like Vulcan had tipped just a minute ago, talking about. And you got the same situation on Ethereum, where it's just like, man, it's been outperforming Bitcoin a little bit lately. You know, it's above 1728, but they just, dude, you're flat. 5 weeks, man. Can't do anything. Can't break 1936, which is a candle high close wick from 2021, reversal point 2022, 2023. It's been a support in 2026 earlier this year. They can't break it. So there you go, man. Just, you can have like leading indicators all you want, maybe with divergence, but if there's no demand on the asset, it's just not going to play out. So maybe we're just looking at the weekly and starting to get a little impatient because the daily's starting to look kind of bad, crappy again, and like maybe it's just going to take a few more weeks before we get that bullish impulse on these top cryptos. But for now, it's just like, I'd rather just have my money in Nvidia and not even think about it. Okay, so those are like, here's your cryptos, man. We can switch it to the S&P 500 real quick. That has just reopened less than an hour ago. So about an hour and 12 minutes ago it reopened. So it's up 0.07%, but a little flat. You know, we just saw a record on Friday's close, a record 2 Fridays ago, just blasted off. I mean, history. You see how different it is? We're talking about Bitcoin like that. Same price it was at, or lower than it was 1,950 days ago. And then we're talking now about completely different market that just made 2 record weekly closes in a row. Look at the daily real quick. You can see just beautiful. Like on Friday, even the highest, or Thursday was the highest daily close ever. Friday they took a break. Even if they took it to 7,600 to back test this breakout, I mean, it'd still be fine. As long as they make a higher low than 7,300, you're in incredible shape. The uptrend's been kind of reconfirmed, right? The sideways rectangle consolidation concluded with a bullish breakout to price discovery record levels. And so now that you have like a form of confirmation that the bullish trend's continuing, any pullback that you ever get now, as long as it's higher than the previous discernible swing low, it would be the highest low ever and probably be setting up for a new higher high, record high. That's how trends go. Hard to stop them. So beautiful stuff here, like completely different universes from what we were just looking at in crypto. NASDAQ though, you know, not in the same boat as the other 3 index funds, lagging behind. I do some of the Mag 7s underperformance, but starting to catch up, at least getting closer, inching closer to an all-time high back from late June, early June. Only about 2% away from an all-time high. I mean, that could be achieved this week if they really wanted it. But just kind of V-shaping after the dump. Didn't really hit a support or anything, just kind of rallied randomly. I think it might have been a headline or something. And no edge here. But yeah, you would think, like, looking at this, it would probably be Nvidia running to all-time highs that would get this thing over the goal line into price discovery, because we can have some pretty easy targets for price discovery if it was to happen. Or you got the 1272 at 31,766, 1414 32,285, 1618 33,000, pretty much $33,000. So there you go. It's up 0.16% on the new week. Okay, cool. And then we look at Dow Jones Industrial Average that made an all-time high on Wednesday, not this past week, but the week before, and it's just been pulling back some. Just kind of like a really nice uptrend going on. Hit a golden mean ratio from the previous major discernible swing high to low. Right, that's the golden mean ratio, magic area where you sometimes do get reactions. And like they could take this thing all the way down to the bottom of the channel here. They could take it to like 53K and it would just maybe be hitting like the oversold threshold of this uptrend you're seeing, kind of conceptualized with the parallel channel tool. So there you go. Different story from the NASDAQ. More in line with the S&P 500. The S&P 500 is pretty much the king, along with, lately, for real, the Russell 2000, which made an all-time high on Friday, on Thursday, on Wednesday. 3 record closes in a row on the small caps. And that's it, man. And up 0.09% on the new week. It could take this thing probably all the way up to 3,115 and hit that overbought threshold of this uptrend conceptualized. Well beyond its respective 1618, the same way we just measured against the Dow Jones, the high to low, way above it. And being above $3,000 is crazy good, because that's like a major psychological level. Break the zeros like that, I mean, why stop it going to 3,100, 3,200, 3,500 eventually. Yeah, you got a broad-based market rally ongoing, which typically is more healthy. Like, you don't like the way it was before all this, back when the Russell 2000 was like horribly underperforming, and the NASDAQ was the top performer. The RSP, the equal weighted S&P index, was crappy. It wasn't doing well. Now it's just hitting all-time highs. So I think that's pretty good. RSP, you see, like for a long time, my God, it took forever. But now really going since like for the past year, I guess, you saw a record intraday price on Friday. Yeah. And then a record close. Well, I guess it was a record close on Friday by 4 pennies. Friday record, Thursday record, Wednesday record, Tuesday record close. So close. I mean, it was almost every day. Wow. So Monday was not a record by like 2 pennies. So 4 days in a row of history on the equal weighted S&P 500 ETF. All right, send it, dude. All right, then we can we got commodities open too. Sorry, Echo Leaf, man. One day, dude. One day. So we can just shift it to gold real quick. That has hit a very key couple levels. There's a confluence area, the meeting of that downsloping resistance that extends back to all-time highs in late January, and that confluence with the horizontal line resistance from October 2025. They are crossing, right? The meeting of two rivers. That's why we call it confluence. 1 and 2 anchor points for the trend line, and then here you are, the third test, and you spent Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday testing the supply line to no avail of a break of either resistance. And that's it. That's like that's the data where it's concluded so far. So now we are on the new week, up 0.06%. But as you can see on the new week, kind of scaled in, like they're just kind of testing both resistances right now at the same time and not broken. So this is like, you can't be too surprised. And what will we say? In a downtrend, intermediate downtrend, conceptualized by the parallel channel tool, not my opinion, that's lower highs, lower lows. This is considered overbought in the downtrend. And they call it a supply line because there is supply here. And definitely going to be supply at an overhead resistance too. So if it did pull back here, all you could do is hope for a higher low to get painted. When that sell-off concludes, it'd be a higher low than maybe 4,000, higher low, and they run and test the resistance again and eventually break it. And then that's when we could start getting a trend reversal, but we're not there yet. So we're just kind of happy that what we did identify in the 4-hour was this, where it was like, hey man, you do have some sort of support from June 10th. They were flirting with it, violating it, but then they started really correlating positively to it in late July, early August, and that did manifest into a nice rally, only to hit key resistance, and that's where we're at. So, and that's like the same story with silver, but we can look at the weekly on gold real quick. Give me an audio check, make sure we're good. Everyone, we good, G-Dog? Zora Ranch Justin, we all right, dude? Yule, Chip Flipper, Wayne Batson, we all right, dude? So here it is, you know, it's just you got, I got that dark cloud cover, remember? I remember. It was the end, dude. Yeah, I mean, like on Friday, it was the highest weekly close since May 25th. That's great and all, but still no breakout. And yeah, eventually you'll get the highest low ever since, like, I mean, where's a discernible swing low? I mean, maybe it's the October low. Maybe it's the May 2025 low. I mean, we're barely any sort of pullbacks, man. Like, what if they were anchoring? I mean, the real swing low is probably October 2022. That's the real one. So, like, if we anchored that as the real swing low, dude, you don't even want to know. Like, we've only hit a 38% retrace. God, dude, it's just like, where is the best fib node that lines up with support? It's gonna be the 886 at 2071, going back to 2020. There is a chance, like, really, like, fundamentally, that they have printed so much money that our currency has been debased so much that that's not even in the realm of a possibility of ever happening. Gold seeing 2071 for sure, right? So technicals, our value, you know, how we gauge value with Fibonacci and technicals, or how we gauge value via technicals is with Fibonacci. Maybe it's just never going to get there because of the too many fundamental aspects. But that should give you some perception here. I mean, it's not really, it's pretty shallow still. We use like the real swing low on the weekly, very shallow. So, but you never know, man. Like they could end up like, oh, like it's like a W shape in the making, you know? Yep. And then the 886 it, and then everyone in the world thinks that like gold's good. It goes on one more face ripping rally, runs up to 5,400, completes, and then it's over. Right? Oil did the same thing. So you can't rule it out. We know this is probably what's maybe going to be unfolding. Maybe if they can break this key resistance that we're watching gold butt up against, we're seeing supply exist there. So maybe, I mean, that's hopium, but you're still doomed whether that happens or not, right? Michael Saylor AI slop watch party. It's like every day on X, every morning he's posting it, right? Let's shift gears to silver. What, low volume on the gold rally? Yeah, exactly, right? I mean, that's low volume. And then look how everything turned around. The highest volume came at the buying climax. That huge close and reversal candle. Silver Friday. So just looking at its highest weekly close since June 8th. They did recapture a key level, you know, but there's no confirmation of it. So again, you're just in a downtrend right now, intermediate downtrend, not like long term. We know that. And it is holding above, yeah, like on the daily, you can see it's holding above 64.10, that swing low from February. And I guess if it stays above that, given enough time, there's a good shot of seeing 70, maybe even 71.60, the 200 moving average, the top of that inflection zone between 70 and 71.67. That could be a target. You know, if they took it to 70, it would be an 88% retrace from that previous high. And then you might be in that same situation where it's like, oh, they're just completing a complex wave structure. Oh, okay. It'd be like TA Tetris. Gotcha. And then that's where the downtrend continues after a value perceived area is achieved for short sellers in this immediate or intermediate downtrend. So that could be definitely. So they've already, if we're looking at this, theoretically, the B point would be that bad action magnet move, which is like when market participants break that resistance. the probability increases dramatically of seeing at least a 78% retrace, or 886. So 78 is at least 6790, and they could take that to, again, about 69, let's just say the double 69s for the memes. But yeah, that's just like where you're at. Definitely in a downtrend, but in downtrends you get corrections, right? And what's a correction in a downtrend? A rally. Just like if you're in an uptrend, corrections or pullbacks, like the price goes down. So there you go. Those are your metals. I mean, we could look at copper real quick, that had doing way better, like just different universe than gold and silver. And you're still in that kind of maybe a big rising wedge here, but it's so strong, man. I mean, it made all-time highs, not last week, but the week before, the 6th of August. And so, yeah, just nearing an apex of maybe what could be a rising wedge, but rising wedges can break upward too. Don't think just because it's a rising wedge, an inherently bearish Bulkowski pattern, that it doesn't mean that it can't resolve with a bullish breakout in its own respective measure move. And this structure is large, a big rising wedge. So if a measure move happened to the upside, you're talking probably 760 or maybe even higher. Like if they like broke out of the wedge, measuring the pattern from the break, my God, it'd be like $8, $8.10. Which we know major Fibonacci node is like $9, right? If we looked at the weekly. So your industrial metal doing phenomenally, just uptrending nonstop, making all-time highs in February and May and August. Insane, dude. Anything above 588, you know it's good. Weekly. Oh yeah, y'all remember this? We had this painted back when gold and silver were still running. The 3 rising valleys, even after the pullback, didn't matter. It's still a higher low, the highest low like ever. And it's just, there you go, man. Record close. 3 weeks in a row. Yeah, 3 weeks in a row of record closes, even though, albeit they're not much higher, they still are, man. The volume's still, it's kind of wild volume, right? I mean, still like above average volume this whole way up. So I'll just show you right here. Like, what do you like the rising? You see it? It's like definitely some sort of potential rising wedge that could break upward, and we'd be looking at 810. And if it was down, you'd probably be looking at 540 or something, 530. Yeah, there you have it, man. And I think the Fibonacci wasn't here. I can't even remember how I had. So no, I don't remember how we had 9. Well, the 2618 is 820. They've already hit all the Fibonacci nodes, major ones, it seems like. But if you wanted a 2618, it's 820.
Lizard.
Excuse me.
No way. No way. What is this garbage? There's a little kid in the background going crazy. Not my chair, not my problem. That's what I say.
Just close the fucking door. Close the door.
Sorry, I had to repay you. You want to make random noises on stream? I'll do it too. Cooked, lizard man. So yeah, man, just crazy. Crazy stuff. Copper is king. And now we can shift from the metals. I don't know. I mean, like, we could look at like XPT. I haven't looked at platinum in a while, just because like the gold and silver is correcting. It's the same world. Same world. You've got this old all-time high. The stem. It's not an all-time high. Excuse me. I'm thinking about palladium. It's an old major inflection zone that stems back to 2010. Paint that gray for you. Very important zone. Right? Swing high reversal 2010, 12, 13. So real, right? Like undeniable. Even rejected initially in October last year before it broke. And so now that's where we're at. My God, man, look at this price action correlate to that zone. I mean, almost the whole month, platinum sellers have just been There's just been so much supply that the buyers are just unable to absorb the supply in this amount of time. So we're talking, what is that, like 2 weeks? Rejecting every single day. Not one day do traders settle up above 1754. So that's like maybe, you know, possibly where this little rally correction concludes in a downtrend. What I get how people would be like, but bro, it's an 886. It is. Same with silver. There was a trade set up on silver, by the way. Remember? A little inverse head and shoulders, from this low to high. I mean, you went below an 886. So that's a value received area. But is that the real swing low, or is it the one down here from April 2025? Yeah, probably that one. But yeah, more minorly, you could anchor that way and see it. And you do get reactions sometimes. I think they did. And I think it was just because gold and silver had their own reactions. So, okay, platinum, nothing until they break 1754. You're kind of cooked. If you do, then it's 1868. Or right 1868. Maybe you could have a big run to that old 2200 level. But I mean, bro, they could even do this. Like, say gold and silver did the 886 thing I'm talking about. This is what would happen to platinum. Platinum would have its own W shape, its own big rally, and then it would conclude probably around 2100, 2130. You'd have a shark, bear shark pattern. That would be, you know, the lowest high of this downtrend, intermediate downtrend. Okay. First person smoker. Wow, dude. Buckets of physical copper scrap. Was that like a couple $100 for real? Oh crap. Forgot I even had a dinner reservation tonight. Oh my god. So that's your metals, and now we can go to oil. US oil. That yeah, I mean, they really did push it to the limit here on oil. 75, 25 key level, and that stemmed back all the way to 2018, but I'm sure before that. Oh yeah, swing low 2011, swing high 2006, swing high in June 2006, swing low June 2012. Very real inflection zone. They have defended that for now. So you wonder, like, it's in a little intermediate downtrend in its own right. But you wonder, like, what we typically want to see if we're, as swing traders, if we want the best value, we do always want to see an 88% retrace. But more importantly, we want to see an 88% retrace, and there happens to be a confluence zone of historical support resistance. So in this situation, they hit the 786 with no real confluence of a major support from history. The 886 gives us that. $60-$61 lines up with the 886. That would be the most strategic area to ever try to take a shot, but we never got there, and we may never get there because look at, they're holding the 200. I mean, like, they very well could be trying to bottom out oil right now, and if they do, it's gonna be nasty, man, for maybe equity markets, the global economy for sure. There's no question about that. I mean, like, what if it's a high or low bullish dragon, where they just kind of, you know, something like this, or the right there, the candle close, one test. I mean, something like that. It's 1 foot, the second foot holding the 200 and the historical inflection point. Man, that'd be a big wave structure to take you all the way up to like 104 plus for an 886. So yeah, you wonder, is the bottom end now on oil? Like, because it could be. They could be like, they lost the key level, they recaptured it, and then they reconfirmed it, and the 200. So maybe there was just so much demand on oil that they weren't going to let it get to the 886. 786 was all they could do, and enough market participants said, hey, a 78% sale on US oil right here is good enough for me, I'm buying. And now they're defending supports and putting in a local higher low. So maybe you never get to the $61 threshold, which again, that would be the best entry. but it doesn't mean that it's gonna happen. So anyway, that's your USO. Look at the weekly on it. What's up, Rawlings, dude? Yeah, they held the 200-week moving average a couple weeks ago. Last week they held 78, and you're just sitting up here like you were sitting above a key level. It's so real that like history shows that most of the time you're seeing $94 to $100. Not always. It is kind of weird here because there's swing highs at 85 and 87 and like 95. Yeah, it's not as foolproof. Look, there's like 87.50 here too. So there are some it's not like, you know, sometimes you see on assets, it's almost 100% straight up and down. But here between 78 and 100, not always like that, but you can clearly see like a lot up and down, a lot of up and down, a lot of up and down, lots of up and down. So I guess we'll see there. I guess anything above 75 bucks at this point on oil is okay. You lose 75, you're probably going to 60, 61. And that's where, again, a better value opportunity would be for oil for the trader. But okay. So that's like, we just went across the markets, man. We did it. We went across, and here you go. You can see the quad screen here. Top left S&P, top right Dow Jones, bottom left NASDAQ, bottom right Russ 2000. You're so close on the Russ 2000, an all-time high. I like wouldn't be surprised if we heard it in the next hour. So close, man. What's up, Bootstrap? What's up, Birdhouse? Good to see y'all. Hope you had a great weekend. It was nice vibes down here in Miami. And yeah, I mean, really everything's kind of closed right now. So, but I guess we can look at how did like the Mag 7's weeklies close, you know? I'll tell you, it was so close on NVIDIA. They did us so dirty on NVIDIA. Excuse me. Yeah, so the weekly on NVIDIA, second highest weekly candle close ever by like 10, 15 cents. Just close. And that May 11th high was 236.54 and closed on Friday. I'm sorry, what? 225.32 was the all-time high close, and we closed again at 225.16. So just off, but I like the fact that we had a mega engulfing candle 2 weeks ago, and last week we made a higher close than that candle, that bullish engulfing candle. So that like technically confirms the Japanese candlestick reversal. So anything above 212, given enough time, I think you're gonna go test all-time highs. I don't want 237.95 is there. What's going on? Weird. 236.69, I guess, on the weekly is the intra-week all-time high. 236.54. So like that's the target. You know, anything above 212, given enough time, is 236.54, and then price discovery. And my theory has been 8+ months of bullish consolidation because the previous impulse before the consolidation was up to record levels and your long-term uptrend. So this is just long time, man. It's been sitting out all the memory run, and it just put in like the highest low ever. So I think I have some good conviction on this seeing all-time highs. And you got earnings coming up on 10 days from now. So pretty much 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks. Yeah, so that's how it closed. And then we can look at like the others. We can look at like, so Google really, just after an all-time high in May, just been consolidating, correcting, kind of like a right-angled and descending broadening formation has developed, and they tried to go test and break the resistance of that structure and failed. That's how it kind of concluded. Nothing special after such a spectacular run. God, y'all, anyone remember this? 2025. Confirming resistance as support. So good. And then it was gone. That's what you're looking for, man. That's the dream. Break resistance. Test once. Test twice. Defend it successfully. Confirm it. Resistance as support. And then look what happens after. That's the aftermath. That's what you want, man. So we can go to Apple. That, did have an all-time high just a few weeks ago. A couple weeks ago, whatever. Did nothing this past week. But that's okay. Just hanging in there. Just cooling off. Definitely might be a little bearish divergence here, but any pullback I still think is going to make a higher low than the low from March. Pivot, make a higher low, and run again to all-time highs later. Trend's so good here. I mean, this is just... You don't want to fight these. You don't want to fight them, man. Too good of trend. They make too much money, so their fundamentals are just too good. Good at Microsoft that made a meteoric recovery after testing that old resistance from 2021 as support. That's pathetic, right? Remember, that's literally like 1,700 days. Sorry, 1673 days. Same price. But then, the next couple months, huge rip and roar on the earnings. 21.75% 2 weeks ago, or 3 weeks ago now, I guess. And did make an intra-week highest level since November. So it was 52-week highs, or not 52-week highs, but year-to-date highs, I guess. So there you go. Just more of the maybe 1 and 2 at around support, and they pumped this thing. So figure what was going on. And then Meta, we like Meta just because we have the structure, we have the type 2 return.
Hi Mitch, love your streams. Can you check $2?
Sub confidence coin, maybe, yeah. Why not, dude? No more requests, no other requests. So you do have the Scott Carney framework. It's just sitting here, and like I don't know if they could bring it back to 530, because sometimes on type 2 returns you just see it. Sometimes the type 2 return gets a form of confirmation. Like you get it's not a triple bottom, it's just more like one bottom, and then this type 2 return just has to have confirmation. And there's some gap fills there too. It would be a blessing if we could see Meta at 531. If Meta saw 531 again, or 532, 535, I would probably be taking a really nice sizable position on that if I could get that. The gap fills, the secondary test locally of the type 2 return, and that stems back that high, really important level from 2024. That would be amazing. We may never get it, but still below the 200 moving average. That's okay though, because we are looking at this pattern, and it's a big pattern. Wish we could get that. We may not, right? Like this week they could choose bullish violence, and this thing just rips through 600. They're struggling at 600. Clearly, you can see they've been struggling since kind of in past 10 days. They just can't break this overhead resistance from October 2024. But they sure enough could just break it and then just run. And I mean, how would you target? You just got to target back for 681, top of the harmonic. But this is a structure that could very well conclude the entire intermediate downtrend that Meta's been in, and this could manifest into all-time highs and beyond. Like this could be an absolute bottom structure. So we'll see though. Okay, we identified it on Apple. We had no idea on Apple. Like, it's here. Trump's tweeting like a crazy person every day. He just schizo maxing. But there was the Apple bullish bat Gartley pattern right there, and then just lo and behold, that was the bottom. So here we are just doing the kind of the same thing on Meta, and it's better because this is a far more discernible type 2 return than Apple had. So okay, Amazon, long-term uptrend. Bad week though, but still trading above that 258.67, that high back from October 2025. chomping around, man. It's really frustrating type of stock to own. Just because, right? What did I say? I mean, you're pretty much trading at the same price you were trading at 10 months ago. But dude, they keep making higher lows. Yeah, they are. But my God, it's just not great. But what a trend. I mean, my God, it's so beautiful. And I think any higher low, like any time this little pullback concludes higher than 226.62, it's going to be the highest low ever. And you'll run to all-time highs. It's going to have its own price discovery, probably. It just made an all-time high in May, made another all-time high this month. Maybe, yeah, this month. So I think it's in good shape. And trend analysis-wise, this is awesome. Yield-wise, in the past 10 months, terrible. But better than Bitcoin. Oh my God. Imagine October 2025. Bitcoin down 50 right now. 50%. So I will take Amazon all day being up 1% in 10 months versus being down 50% on Bitcoin. No brainer. Far superior asset. It's not even close. Right now, lately, this year. Okay, all right, so the last of the Mag 7 would be Tesla, which so they're still trying to recover off that horrible earnings report. Massive volume signature on the gap down. Could be a breakaway gap. Just don't know. I mean, it wasn't like anything too crazy. You know, if you scale out, you can see way higher volume spikes, but that was enough. Very much above volume, or above average volume. Yeah, that's highest volume of the year on the gap down. So yeah, we were smoking some opium for a minute, and then they put in the lower high and fell below the level, and that's what gave back up on it, and then they rallied this thing back above the key level, only to make another lower high. And it's so interesting. It really is so interesting how it followed the exact same playbook as Meta. What are you talking about? As Meta, you see 1, 2, 3, the rule of 3 just always somehow finds a way to present itself to us. Remember Meta? How did it begin its downtrend? It was 1, it was 2, it was 3, leading up to earnings. 1, 2, and then trace. They did it again, man. They did it again on Tesla. So now there's no edge here at all. What you would really want as a swing trader, maybe something like this and this. They overshoot it, they liquidity grab, and then you get something like that. And then you get on your oscillators, of course, like always, you get what? You know what you get. You get bullish divergence on the local slightly lower low. And then the exhaustion turns into a little rally that gets the price of the asset back above the key support. And then they somehow formally regard that level as a support again to reconfirm its validity. And then stop loss strategically placed, entry as close to that level as possible with the most upside. So that's what you want. It's not, I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm just trying to reinforce the right things that we want as position traders, swing traders, every single effing time, whether we get it or not. We don't have it. It's not on the chart. Then hit the space bar and find an asset that is presenting us with those variables. Simple. Okay, so those are your Mag 7s. Let's go to the weekly here on this one too. It's crazy how well that 886 Gartley, how it played out, man. It's very sad. But good news, I guess. Still above the 200-week moving average. Still above the swing high from January 2021. Man, it's rough, dude. real rough. You know what? Underperforming Bitcoin since November 2021. Currently down 17% in 1,757 days. Bitcoin's only down a few percentage points in 1,700, 1,900 days. Remember, the NASDAQ itself up 80% since November 2021. Tesla down 17%. Bitcoin down a few percentage points. So these markets are certainly not created equal. I wonder here what this is going to represent. I mean, like, if they put a low and they put a slightly lower low in, I mean, weekly bullish divergence could develop. Just looking at it here, maybe. RSI, not the same situation though. Still, just recaptured the neutral zone, which is good, I guess. Yeah, that's good. Being back above 40, but whatever. It's been tough, man. Tough market for some of these. Okay, man. So I've been live 52 minutes. If you're enjoying the live stream, please hit the like button, that bell, that sub. I'm just here on a Sunday, taking some time out to give you a little market recap of what we saw on Friday, end of the week, into the reopening of the U.S. futures, commodity futures, and just waiting patiently for the weekly candle close on Bitcoin and crypto, where, you know, Vulcan tipped $2 and asked me if do I believe in the memory recovery. Memory recovery, is this, I mean, it's hard, dude. It's really hard to say in this situation. What they very well could do here on Intel, same thing, right? The wave structure situation, and they could take this thing to the 886, and it's still over. Like, it could run crazy amounts, put in a lower high, complete the W shape, and it's still over for Intel, because then it like tops out and then way lower. So I guess above 102.54 you're okay, but until then it's kind of, if they're below it, it's kind of weird. So you could be buying, like, think about it, you could be buying gold in late or early February, like where it's already over and you don't really know it yet. What's up, Pathian? Thank you, Rawlings. Yeah, so that one, and then Micron up 2.3%. It's like, you just don't know. Same thing, right? Where it could be over, but it could still be rallying substantially. Same W type behavior, 886 it. And then we're cooked at 1200. So yeah, they broke a supply line for sure. No one's going to argue with that. They broke some sort of support resistance zone. Recaptured 818, 859. Anything above that's okay. I think you don't want to own Micron at all below 818. I think that's the line in the sand here. You see it, swing high, swing low, the zone. They were correlating positively to that level as they were breaking a supply line. Good confluence, and it's been rallying. It was the highest daily close since July 23rd. So maybe it's over, but there could still be good upside.
Hey Mitch, take a look at PLTR if you haven't yet.
What's up, Evan, dude? Yeah, dude. We can yeah, we can look at that. We'll look at like one more SanDisk, and then we'll go to Palantir. Yeah, huge recovery, but you know, they broke a supply line, of course, right? Some sort of, yeah, it's just like Micron, just like Intel. They had these supply lines, they broke them. They're attempting a recovery. Look, 1585 is that swing high, swing low, trying to hold on. You're above that, you're good. It's the same thing where, like, it could be over for SanDisk, but they're just gonna create a complex wave structure first, which this very well could. And your target there, 886, 2200 for the W shape. And then that's when it's over. So yeah, I think there could be upside on SanDisk. And so do I believe in the rally? we could be, like, theoretically, if you look at it like that, we could be in the C to D wave of the XABCD. And the C to D wave is obviously a large wave, and we are not at the completion of that wave yet. So I mean, there could be more. So what would that mean? Like upside potential to 2200 from here right now would be like 2200. That would be like 33% upside. 33. I mean, that's insane yield and gains just to complete a W. Probably similar Intel and Micron. So anyway, yeah. Very good, dude. And then Palantir, similar-ish look here, I think. Yeah, where you had like the kind of head and shoulders stuff, and it played out, and it was chopping, still making lower highs. And then earnings, right? Wasn't it earnings happened? And this thing just had a that's very well possibly a breakaway gap, right? It's got the characteristics of the huge gap up in price, percentage-wise, and a high volume signature. So you may not be filling that gap anytime soon. They recaptured the 200 simple moving average really for the first time since early February. So I think like, do we have a structure here? Really? No. They are making a higher high than 161 now, which is good. But yeah, you're just like, if you're requesting this, you're just like, you're in the middle of an impulse off of a big earnings play. There's no real edge here. There's no value here. Buying right now. What's the strategy involved with buying literally right now? Like, I don't think there is any. So this thing could like pull back to 161, or they could go fill the gap at 124. But for now, I don't really see any sort of like argument for a fresh long on Monday tomorrow, and it makes sense for like strategy. Like what's the strategy, right? The strategy should always be, oh, buyers have lost the level, they've recaptured the level, oh, they reconfirmed the level, oh, they reconfirmed the level again. So we got like 3 rising valleys, accumulation signatures and structures. I think this was just earnings. Coin flip, casino, gapped up. It's a good thing that Michael Burry had closed out his Palantir short, because he'd have been destroyed. I think he shorts something else and he's getting wrecked. And I think Trump even like kind of, he didn't mention Michael Burry, but he was talking about short sellers, which right now I think Michael Burry is like one of your most notorious short sellers, talking about how they're just getting destroyed right now, or Trump's saying that. Local on the 8s, yeah, you're right. Let's go to the weekly real quick on this. Your local on the 8s, 20 seconds till the weekly close. A huge recovery, man. I mean, big time, but not higher than 190, not higher than 205 yet. Anything, maybe there's like a supply line, and they broke out, obviously, like the memory stocks. And yeah, I guess like you could think 190 would be your upside potential before the next big resistance. And yeah, so breakout, I guess, supply line breakout on earnings, and that's about it. So overnight trading has begun. We can go back to Bitcoin real quick, because that's what we do when the weekly closes. And it was confirmed, bearish engulfing candle. Bearish engulfing candle confirmed. 64,899 rejected formally again. Confirmed below the 200 simple moving average, with the candle close really since June 22nd. Confirmed below the supply line that extends back to the old all-time high, or the formal and current all-time high from October last year. Horrible. Even with all this divergence, there's still no one knocking, still trading below the bearish control zone threshold of 40. Dude, you can't make a fat, stupid, trash.
Sorry for the late one. Any chance on noise?
You can't make a crappy, fat, stupid horse be a champion. You just can't. Like, if it's gonna be fat, stupid, and garbage, it's not gonna win the race. And that's kind of what Bitcoin's turned into. Hey, it used to be this insane stallion for a long time. Then it got too crowded. Too much institutional induction. And then the rug pull, October 10th. And I think really October 10th was the day that the Night King tore down the wall. And there was no ending where the Night King died. No, he just like straight up took Winterfell, killed Bran, killed Jon, killed everyone, and he's just marching towards King's Landing now. Like that's the state of crypto. It's over. Apocalypse. October 10th. That's it, man. Your Winterfell fell. Winterfell maxing. Oh, thank you, by the way, Anon. We will certainly look at OIS. All right, right after we look at this Ethereum after the weekly close. Same thing. I mean, it's like the divergence is there on the MACD, not the RSI. Faring a little bit better on the RSI by a couple points. I guess it's above 40, so that's great, man. But not great, dude. It's just not. There's just no demand. And you can't make it even when it looks set up. Maybe like exhaustion's there.
At Jeremy Payne 9549 $49.99. Hey Mitch, I like the dealer's choice you guys did last week. I think best stock for buy at the market open.
Please clap.
Jump in, man. Thanks so much for the freaking 50 session top Jesus maxing. Thank you, dude. Dealer's choice. I can do it, man. I gotta like spend a couple of minutes scanning, but I think we could make it happen for you, dude. Thank you. Kings, dude. So yeah, that's just your weekly close. It was the lowest weekly candle close confirmed since like mid-July, early July, whatever. Gotta break 1936. Gonna be impossible without Bitcoin recovering. I mean, for now, like, chat, until Bitcoin breaks 64.9, it's just, you can't really have a bullish bias right now. You can't, even with the weekly looking good. I'm sorry, dude. If you're below 63,588 and 64,899, you cannot have a bullish bias. Now, let's say throughout the week, buyers come back in somehow. Who are they? I don't know. They're like aliens. There's no one on earth that really cares about Bitcoin anymore, except Michael Saylor. But I think Michael Saylor is the reason why we're in this situation to begin with, Kappa. But until we're back above those levels, you just keep your eye on other markets, man. Look for real winners. Look for good uptrends. Look for structures and long-term uptrends, intermediate uptrends that are concluding their development, and they're at the conclusion of the development. We have positive price action correlating to historical inflection points with hidden bullish divergence or whatever. Like, we're just, for the things we look for, swing traders, crypto just doesn't have it, and it hasn't had it for almost a year. So it's like, maybe this weekly will play out, but I'm not holding my effing breath. Okay, it's fine. You know that, man. All right, let's go to what was it? What was it? Dealer's choice next. Let's see. OIS. Sorry. Oil. What was it? Oil Services. OIS. The thing is Oil States International. Oh, I thought it was like a services thing. Oh, phenomenal. Like, oh yeah. This is something where you could long it. Yeah. OIS is Wyckoff accumulation in the final phase. Chat. This is it. This is a long time coming too. And we've looked at it before a long time ago here and throughout the years, but this is it. You've had the sign of strength, which is the brick of the trading range. You are currently in the BU, the backup. The backup's probably concluding now, because I bet you on the daily you see a confirmation low. This could be longed on Monday. This could be the dealer's choice. Yeah, incredible. So easy to set this up to. I mean, like, really, like at entry, wherever it is right now, Monday, you could be really loose or conservative or loose on this. You could be like tight stop just below 883, or you could be like, nah, dude, I want to go down to a little bit right around where those wick lows were in June and July. And then you just be easily targeting right back up for the high you saw in February. That's target one. That's 4.25 to 1 roll to risk. And I don't know, there was a split probably at some time, so this trend line got effed up. It's already broken out, by the way, so don't even worry about that. But this is such a great request, Anon. Make yourself known, bro. I mean, just look, old swing high from 2001, that swing low 2008. They recaptured that level and went nuts. Now it's just been resistance, resistance, resistance since 2020. Understand, for 6 effing years, it's only been a resistance until now. You understand how huge that is? So you wouldn't just target 1 and you'd have target 2. Pretty simple. I would just say maybe that swing high from 2019 at 21 bucks. But probably, yeah, you just be like that, or you could say 22, 28. I would just be conservative. 21.30 right there with swing highs back from 2005. You break that, my God. I mean, you could be like target 3 on OIS would be 29.15. My God, what a request, dude. I forgot about it. I'm glad we look into the weekly. It could be 3. Heck, dude, you could go 4. You could be crazy madman and just do it like that. And there you go, dude. Like, it's pretty simple setup. And you don't have to think about it much. It's a weekly, so it's going to take a while. But that's perfect risk management. It's in a good spot. Oh, and by the way, of course, I mean, someone out there could make an argument for weekly hidden bullish divergence. Impending price action continuation to the upside. So you got kind of an edge. How about that? And that is the dealer's choice. We just got 2 birds stoned at once. So give me 2 seconds. I'm going to publish this real quick. Great job, bro. You're just Anon, though, so we can't really give you credit. If this plays out, Anon, you would become Hype King, unless you already are. So maybe you should like tell us who you are so we can so just like technical indicators and trend analysis, because trend analysis is like the Wyckoff accumulation final phase. You're in phase E right now, and that's really it. Let's freaking go, dude. G-Dog, you seeing this? Oh my God, you're gonna make me buy. I know the meme, dude. I know the meme. I don't know if you do you know the meme? But dude, what about Pundy Coin? What about Pulse Chain, bro? Get over it. How are you not over it? How poor do you have to be where you actually get over crypto, bro? It's just, ugh. All right, that was amazing. I don't know if we've ever done it where someone requested something and then it ended up being dealer's choice right after. Giant bat with dots all over the place. Nice. Well, whatever it is. I mean, talk about value. You're already there. You're putting in the highest low you've seen in 7 years. My God. That's crazy, dude. Be long in this tomorrow. Taking a position for sure. I don't care what happens, man. Like, it's a weekly time scale, so I'm not worried about the day-to-day on this one. I'll just have my stop set up and just forget about it, because I know it'll take a minute, definitely. All right, man, we've been live an hour 10 minutes. The weekly candle close in crypto. We got a nice trade setup posted now. I don't know. I mean, like for Jeremy, I guess, like, you know, let's go to HubSpot real quick, because this is maybe an old dealer's choice or something. Or I was scanning and finally came back to it, and it was like, dude, this is great. I mean, you want dealer's choice, HubSpot. I know it was down like 7% almost on Friday, but guess what? The day before was up 14.46%. So yeah, that happens. But anything above 192.51 right now is impeccable for upside, and it's just the same methodology that's been taught here for over 8 years, where we look for structures, then we look for structures to conclude their development, and then we look for breakouts, and then we look for back tests, and then we look for evidence of more than before, accumulation evidence, and it's happening, and it's being confirmed that it's happening this month. So it's like, it could fail. Of course it could fail, but we're at the point where we're risking such a little amount to win such a large amount. And that's risk management. That's reward to risk is optimum on this one. So there you go, man. It's got the makings of Velocity Athlete. We don't know if it'll play out. We never act like we know. Okay, there is no ego here. We just know that you're at an actionable level due to history. You know, it's been such a long, extended drawdown, and like finally they're putting in higher lows at the key level. So we just can set up strategic stops, entries as close to 192 to 208 as possible. And then we know the upside potential if that actually is a bottoming structure developing. What a huge upside potential, 324.12. Hub takes time to hit targets. You were in at 187. Oh my God, you were almost in at the freaking. Again, like Jeremy, you just gotta like, you have that trading plan, right? Like if you're in the Patreon, it's set up for you. But again, right, the closer you are to 192, 208, the closer you are to the most optimum entry, the closer you are to the most strategic stop loss, and the closer you are to the most upside potential if a reversal did happen. A real pronounced, resounding reversal happened. 324.12. If you fall below 192.50, the argument being presented right now could very well just become invalidated, where they're now with
Yuk 2-0 in Discord for the inevitable Hype King.
Is that you, dude? Oh yeah, OIS. Is that you? For real? Okay. Maybe it shows. Let me see if it shows up on the PayPal or whatever. Yeah, you were correct. That's confirmed. Yeah. UTKHO. Brad, take note of that. OIS, UTKHO. Anyway, so sorry, I was talking about so if like the price of HubSpot falls below 192 and stays below there given enough time, you then, the argument flips, it reverses from owning the asset with low risk, high reward to not owning the asset at all. So it'd be different. So there you have it, man. We're not acting like we know. We just know how to set up a trading plan with strategic stops, optimum entries with the most upside potential. That's it. That's all TA is. It's a risk management tool, literally at best. Don't listen to people that use traditional technical analysis as a way to tell fortune, to fortune tell, to prophesize. Those people are bastardizing what technical analysis was developed as. And here's another thing. I mean, you could look at this like a supply line that was maybe broken, and they're still broken out of it right now. So maybe, you know, maybe that's another thing to it. Okay. We don't have to know where an asset's going next to make money. That is a Mark Douglas principle. I've been teaching in here forever. Evan C, that's right, dude. Old STEM. Remember STEM? It was beautiful. Oh my God. Varsity Athlete trade setup, right? Instead of the type 2, it triple bottomed. Which triple bottoms are, my opinion, my experience, they're not very common. Like, you just don't see many triple bottoms like this that set up just like that and actually play out. Because they'll come back for a third test and just fail. And it's like, oh, now lower low. It's not a triple bottom. It's nothing burger. Failed double bottom. So incredible. Yeah, this one last week. This, and we're hoping on TNDM, you know. But like, this is what I'm talking about, dude, right? You're down here. You don't know. But you know.
Hey, Mitch, can you take a look at Into? Thank you, Mitch.
AG, thank you, dude. Yeah, for sure. Thanks so much. We will look at Into right now. Which is that Intel 2-time levered ETF or something? If not, maybe not. Intuit. Oh, it's Intuit, isn't it? So I think we were just talking about HubSpot or OIS or whatever. We don't know where it's going next. We don't know the trade setup will play out. We just know that if you were, the closer you are to 126, 142, right? The April COVID crash low. The most optimum the entry would be, the most strategic the stop loss would be, the most upside potential there would be when the price of the asset was trading at 126 to 142. That's all we knew. But we knew we had an edge because we had a substantially large M-shape completing with forms of confirmation. We knew that. We had an edge. It was up 9% on Friday, up 38.66% last week. Hype in the frickin' chat. Hype in the chat! Okay, thanks again, Jeremy, for the 50. UTKH20. Thank you so much for the UOIS. And the 420. 2420.
Is that a joint?
And then AG once into it, right? I thought I used to have a different ticker. Maybe I'm crazy or something. Yeah, weekly, you're looking at it. What's the first thing that sticks out? No structure. Just been getting destroyed. Has been recovering since, early mid-June. But again, no patterns on the weekly. None. Only thing you kind of got going for you maybe is like some levels were recaptured. But to no avail, really. I don't. Maybe you think it's a dragon. There was bullish divergence, certainly. Sellers were exhausted as F, and you are now watching the resolution of the exhaustion with a summertime rally, but pretty pathetic. Not doing anything that would change the trend. Bullish divergence in the MACD as well. Okay, it's playing out. It's been like green candles for 2.5 months straight off this divergence, but that's it. That is horrible performance for weekly bullish divergence. Earnings coming up not this week, but next week. Go to the daily on it. Nothing about it sticks out. As I don't see a pattern here. Remember, there are different types of trades. There are exhaustion trades, accumulation trades, continuation trades, reversal trades. So you'd be looking at a exhaustion reversal trade, and it's already playing out, but its performance is just not even coming close to rivaling the previous discernible swing high. Not even close to rivaling the swing high, or the overhead resistance of 423.37. It's where they rejected it back in May. So they could take this thing as high as they want. An 886, they'd go fill a gap at 382. They go fill a gap at 401. And it's still going to be the lowest high of this entire downtrend. So not one that you should care about right now. Bad trend, intermediate trend anyway. Lower highs, lower lows. No patterns. No real structure. That's it. Like, you don't really have anything to work with here. So, above 341, maybe they can take it to $400. Sure, but it's just like you don't have a greater than 50% chance of it happening, I don't think. So therefore, you just go to the freaking casino, get free drinks. Yeah, chip flipper. It do be like that sometimes, right? All right. Well, that was the most recent and last request. It seems like it's been live hour 20 minutes now. So, we've gone all across the markets, man. Done some recaps on how it was last week. We've covered how it's going on the new week. You have overnight trading that has reopened now, which is kind of doesn't mean anything really. So, but yeah, you got silver trying to rally up almost 1%. Gold's up 0.24%. They're up against those big resistances, so I wonder if they could break them. All right. Well, thank you all for coming out. I appreciate it, and hope you have a wonderful rest of your Sunday evening or Monday morning for some of you across the pond. Again, man, I cannot give two craps about Bitcoin until Bitcoin's price is above 64,899. I just can't care. I don't care what the weekly says. We were close. At least we were above 63,588 last week. But only to put in a lower high, only to confirm 64,899 as resistance again. I cannot get behind Bitcoin until it happens. And who knows? Maybe there's just one green candle that breaks above that level and it's up 10%. It's like, okay, I guess we're okay for now. But dude, there's just better stuff out there. And that's like unquestionable. So best of luck if you're in this space. But there are better spaces to be in, and it's been that way for almost an entire effing year now. All right. Thanks for likes, love, support, contributions, everything in between. I'll be back. Till next time. Respect. The T. Hey.